What is up, everybody, and welcome to FLW videos. Oh my gosh, it's been 8 months since I last said that phrase. For those of you wondering what's been going on, well, I started a PhD program and I was unsure if I could handle the program and doing YouTube at the same time. But now that we are up against the summer, I've got a little bit more free time, so I figured, why not go ahead and start back with YouTube and of course do it with a bang with the deep dive series. We're going to be talking about Yveltal today. So Yveltal is going to be coming out on May 18th, being added into raids, and we're of course going to be performing a deep dive on this Pokemon. We'll be talking about its stats, its movesets, where it gets placed into the meta from a rating perspective, as well as PvP. But anyways, if you do enjoy the deep dive series and you do find it valuable, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. We've got Yveltal with a max CP of 4,326 with the level 51 Best Buddy boost. Yveltal is a dual type Pokemon of dark type as well as the flying type. Now, when we talk about this Pokemon today, we are of course going to be exploring it from both perspectives. We'll be talking about it from a raid perspective as far as the dark type as well as the flying type is concerned, because you may be like me and you may not have enough resources to open up that secondary charge move, and you may want to dedicate Yveltal to a specific type of attacker. So of course, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So let's go ahead and take a look at Yveltal's stats. And when we do this, this is really going to give you all of the information that you need to understand the potential of Yveltal. So of course, let's go ahead and take a look at it. Now, this is a new graphic that I created. Hopefully this is helpful. I definitely tried to make it informative, so feel free to take a screenshot of it. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about this Pokemon. When we go ahead and take a look at its actual base stats of attack, defense, and then stamina, you can see that it is rocking some solid stats. So firstly, we have an attack stat of 250. That's ranked at 92nd. Now, that may not necessarily be the greatest, but considering up against all the other competition like the Mega Pokemon, I mean, that's still impressive. And its actual best ranked stat is its stamina stat at 246. That's ranked at 28th in Pokemon Go, so definitely impressive. And then of course, if you take a look at its overall stat ranks, when you consider all three stats, you've got Yveltal in ranked at 35th, so that is very impressive for this Pokemon. Then of course, when you take a look at the CPs, if you are interested in that, I wanted to make sure to include some level 40 information as well as level 50 information. Maybe you're like me and you don't have many Pokemon, or any Pokemon if we're being honest, powered up to level 50, you may be interested in the level 40 information. So we of course have level 40 CP of 3,781, and then that ends up going up to 4,326 when you have that level 51 buddy boost. And as far as the general ranking for its CP is concerned, it's actually going to be the 57th highest in Pokemon Go, which is insane. I mean, just let that sink in a little bit. There are so many Pokemon with high CPs coming out in Pokemon Go, especially more recently. So anyways, if we go ahead and take a look at the moveset, this is really going to determine what exactly is going on with this Pokemon. So we actually have quite a few options that we are going to be taking a look at from, of course, the raid and the PvP perspective. And really, one decision point that kind of comes down to this is, on the quick moves, you have two dark type moves. So if you are curious about which move you should end up going with, it's definitely going to be Snarl. So Snarl is better than Sucker Punch. So if you want to go from a dark type perspective, you definitely want to use Snarl. And then of course, you definitely want to use Dark Pulse. And then of course, on the flip side, taking a look at the flying type moves, you've got Gust, and then you have Hurricane. So definitely a pretty easy pairing to make from that from a typing perspective. Now, of course, you've got this second decision going on, right? The second decision is going to be, okay, so we've got some choices between the moves. We've got dark type moves and we've got flying type moves. So what exactly is Yveltal going to be better at? So that's what we're going to be doing next. We're going to be taking a look at a couple of raids. The first one's going to be up against a Mewtwo. And as we can see, when you include Mega Pokemon as well as Shadow Pokemon, this is at level 40, by the way. Let me know what makes the most sense to do. Should I do level 40 results, or should I up it to level 50? I figure more people have level 40 Pokemon, so that was at least my rationale behind this. So anyways, when we take a look at this, we can see that Yveltal is actually ranked at the 12th position when you include Shadow Pokemon and when you include Mega Pokemon. So a little bit unfortunate, right? But if you go ahead and filter out the Shadow Pokemon and then of course the Mega Pokemon, you can get what would be a clear picture as far as the baseline stats are concerned. You can see that Yveltal is going to be the 4th best option when you exclude those Mega Pokemon and you exclude the Shadow Pokemon. And really, it's only being beat as far as Dark types are concerned, being beat by Darkrai. So that's honestly very solid for Yveltal. From this Dark typing with Snarl and Dark Pulse, it is definitely looking promising for this Pokemon. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at a raid from the flying types. This could be a Pokemon that you want to explore from that, so I figure why not go up against a Machamp. Now, unfortunately, I had to go down pretty far on this screen to finally find Yveltal, ranked in at the 24th best Pokemon to use, with Mega Pokemon, with Shadow Pokemon. So Yveltal, not looking so good, but honestly, it could come down to the fact that it's competing against different types of moves. So of course you've got all these psychic type attackers that are just absolutely crushing it. Just imagine something like a Mewtwo. Mewtwo is going to be a solid option versus Machamp. So Yveltal's got a lot of competition as far as facing fighting types are concerned. There's a little bit better news when you filter out the Mega Pokemon and Shadow Pokemon. You've got Yveltal moving up to the 13th position overall, but still, I would say that it isn't necessarily a bad flying type attacker by any means. It's just going to be one of those situations where you're having to choose between Yveltal as a dark type attacker or as a flying type attacker. And if you only can choose one, then I would definitely say that Yveltal is going to be better as a dark type attacker when you are looking at it from the raid perspective. So anyways, that's going to be the raid perspective, and what we can do now is go ahead and take a look at some of the PvP results. Now, the PvP results are looking promising, but technically, this is a little bit deceptive. Now, if you go ahead and take a look at this, by the way, comes from pvpoke.com, and you can see that its win rate is just insane against other Pokemon in the Masters League, and it actually has an average battle rating of 696, which is very solid. But here's going to be the problem. Just because it gets a lot of win against a lot of Pokemon doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be great in this Master League, because out of these 66 Pokemon that it loses to, it's actually going to be a lot of the top Pokemon that are ranked in the Masters League. So if you go ahead and take a look here, you're seeing as a dark type attacker, you're not going to be super effective against anything that's in like what, the top 16 options here. So you've got a lot going on, and as far as that is concerned, it's not looking promising for Yveltal from a PvP perspective. So what the heck do you do with this Pokemon? At least in my opinion, what I'm seeing is it looks great from the raid side, especially from the dark type attackers. Then unfortunately, not so much value from that flying type. And then from the PvP side, you could pair it up with some better Pokemon. It does have a decent win rate, but when you go up against like the top meta, it's really not going to be that impressive. So that is something that you are going to have to consider. But anyways, I hope you did enjoy this episode. It was definitely fun to get back into this. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe. We got to let people know that I am back. So anyways, if you want to go ahead and support the channel, go ahead and check out Patreon. I actually updated some new tiers over at Patreon. I did include a new Discord channel so you can get access to the Discord. We're going to be talking about Pokemon Go, and then of course coordinating for different raids. So if you are interested in supporting the channel in that way, definitely make sure to check out the Patreon link in the description below, and I will see you next time.